Welcome to this meeting of the Board of Education of Anne Arundel County. This meeting is being televised live on AACPS TV and streamed on AACPS's YouTube channel. General information and protocols for the meeting are posted on the sign by the doorway as you enter the room, so please make sure that you read those if you have not already done so. At this time, we will have our invocation. O God, we pray to administer that which is just in all educational policies, being ever mindful of your guidance. Stir us to action with love, wisdom, and understanding. And now our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now, item 2.03, approval of our minutes. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. We have consensus? And we do. So item 2.04, establishment of the agenda order. Do I hear a motion?
Move to establish as written.
Second.
Consensus? And we do have that. So we'll be moving on to item 2.05, our Educator of the Month.
Good afternoon. Today, the Board of Education of Anne Arundel County is thrilled to recognize Rachel Place as our May 2025 Educator of the Month. Miss Place is a 7th grade English teacher at Southern Middle School. She is known for her unwavering commitment to student success and impactful contributions to the Southern middle school community. Rachel stands out as a role model for students and colleagues, fostering a sense of belonging. Her classroom consistently fosters a supportive and engaging learning environment where all students thrive. She incorporates innovative teaching strategies and student-centered approach, and she continues to transform student outcomes. She demonstrates an understanding of the needs of our middle school students by embedding a variety of purposeful tactile and kinesthetics activities. She gets seventh graders. Her dedication to personalized instruction has led to remarkable growth on ELA MCAP scores, as well as quarterlies demonstrated through measurable improvements in reading, comprehension, critical thinking, and writing skills. This progress is a testament to Miss Place's commitment to creating lessons that inspire and challenge every learner. Her students come to class prepared and ready to learn. Her ability to command and lead the students in active and engaging learning is demonstrated daily. Miss Place's door is always open for new teachers and veteran teachers. She is one you can go to on your low days, and she is one to support and listen. And she will celebrate your wins too. Beyond the classroom, Miss Place has made an invaluable impact in the wider school community as an interdisciplinary team leader and an after-school tutor for students who may be struggling. She is sought out because of her support. When you're with Mrs. Place in the classroom, you know and feel that she is making a difference. She is truly gifted and talented teacher. In her own words, which she often says about her co-teacher, she is the actual unicorn of teachers. Rachel Place, congratulations on being awarded the Educator of the Month for May 2025. Would you please come forward to accept this award? Come over here.
Okay.
So, how did they get you here today?
They told me I was presenting.
Well, you are. Okay. Yeah. This is for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh yeah, we'll take a picture.
Okay. Wait, how did we get, who's here with you today?
Mr. Lewis, my AP.
Raise your hands.
Rachel Painter, my department chair, and then my co-teacher, Becky Palmer. And then this is like my family, my friends, my boyfriend. They all surprised me. I had no idea. I'm feeling very overwhelmed.
No, we love you. We absolutely love you.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yes.
Let's go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're moving on to item 2.06, our Employee of the Month.
The community school program managers serve more than 20,000 students system-wide. They coordinate the community schools and total healthcare telehealth program, providing access to health services for families and students attending community schools, especially students who are chronically absent due to recurring health problems or limited resources. This program allows on-site medical consultations and access to necessary medications. The MVP behind the scenes, creating and implementing an in-depth onboarding program to assist recently hired program managers and technicians in their role is none other than Krista Boyd, Budget Support Specialist at Community Schools. program managers, 6 budget technicians, and multiple central office departments related to workflow, purchasing requirements, and great improved purchases. She manages this workload with grace, professionalism, and always maintains a cheerful outlook. The Community Schools Office is new in AACPS, and in this brief time, Ms. Boyd has improved systems to make the work effective and efficient for approximately 50 staff members who are part of this office. She worked with the Technology Office to develop AACPS's first ever system for electronic signature and document approval. DocHub has drastically improved the efficiency of the program and increased the effectiveness of community school program managers. This innovation truly makes Ms. Boyd stand out. She is an exceptional example of professionalism and earns the respect of all who works with her, from partners in central office to school staff to leaders of community organizations. She thinks ahead and prepares for all scenarios. She has successfully presented to the chiefs of other departments within AACPS, MSDE, school principals, and community school employees. Her presentations are comprehensive and easy to follow. Her deep knowledge and capable demeanor inspire confidence in those who collaborate with her. Krista Boyd, you are enthusiastic about the work you do. Your contributions to the Community School Office make the team stronger. You are highly valued and irreplaceable member of the Community Schools team. The Board of Education. The Board of Education is excited to reward you as Employee of the Month for May 2025. Will you please come forward to accept this award?
They told me that we might have to present on some staffing decisions about 15 minutes ago, so my turn is open right now.
And well, it looks like you've got plenty of people with you, but who all?
So my mom, my dad, my husband, my BFF, Christine, and then the entire community school. I love y'all.
How great you are in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're moving on to item 2.07, Volunteers of the Month.
Thank you, Mr. President. Martin Luther King Jr. told us, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." This year's Volunteers of the Month help students become strong as individuals and see the light in themselves so that they can work together as brothers and sisters. It is an immense honor to recognize the leaders of the mentoring organization, Together We Rise. Together We Rise as our May 2025 Volunteers of the Month, Mr. Eric Ashby Bay, Mr. Joseph Parker, and Mr. Terrell Freeman. Together We Rise is a dynamic mentoring organization that supports students at Annapolis, Oakwood, and Georgetown East elementary schools. The mission of Together We Rise is to empower at-risk youth by fostering a deep sense of self, healing souls, and providing support for their families, creating a collective we that can rise together. These three gentlemen are fully committed to their mission, delivering mentorship with unwavering fidelity and integrity. Together We Rise began mentoring students at Annapolis Elementary and has expanded its reach to Oakwood and Georgetown East, with plans to grow next school year. Their approach to mentorship is both intentional and responsive, meeting students where they are, collectively and individually. Additionally, they've aligned their efforts with the school system's strategic plan, focusing on the social and emotional well-being of students and working to eliminate chronic absenteeism. Despite holding full-time jobs and other life commitments, these men prioritize Together We Rise, working around their schedules to be present in schools during the day, after hours, and on weekends. They've organized and supported field trips for their mentees and even extended these opportunities to schools they do not directly support. Their field trips have included national parks and Civil War battlefields, historically Black colleges and universities, local businesses, and locations that showcase the arts, theater, and music. Their commitment to what's best for all students is unparalleled. Together We Rise is inclusive, offering support to all students, regardless of gender, behavior, attendance issues, or other challenges, guiding them all to live and grow together. They go the extra mile to reach the students who need it most. Mr. Ashby Bay, Mr. Parker, and Mr. Freeman, your dedication to our students and families is truly commendable. You have inspired a sense of belonging, growth, and success that will leave a lasting mark on our school and community. The strength and healing you build in our students will help them grow individually as well as together in their communities, as Dr. King encouraged us all to do. On behalf of the students, staff, and families at Annapolis, Oakwood, and Georgetown East Elementary, the Board of Education thanks you for your tireless efforts, your passion, and your belief in your students. You truly embody what it means to be Volunteers of the Month, and we are so fortunate to have you as part of the AACPS family. Would you please come forward? It is with great appreciation that I would like to present these Volunteer of the Month bells and certificates to you as a symbol of our appreciation. So I just have to say, I have had the privilege, along with Dr. Bedell, of sitting in on a session with these gentlemen at Annapolis Elementary School. We've spoken quite at length in a parking lot one night about what was going on, and we're so grateful. So did they tell you something to get you here today?
Andre, yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Dillard.
Dillard said we was gonna be presenting about mentoring.
I don't want to say Mr. Dillard's a good liar, but it worked.
We'll take care of him later.
I seem to have only one bell. Oh, we're getting the other bells. Apologies. We'll start with you.
But we're also at Park.
Okay, so now you're at Park Elementary as well.
Saturday program,
So
along with Dr. Ashworth.
wonderful. So you continue to grow. Anything else you would like to say? First of all, who's here?
Have Miss Harford. That's the principal that gave us our shot.
At Annapolis Elementary.
Annapolis Elementary School.
Yes.
Have Miss Hewitt. That's our first community school manager. Have Miss Aarons at Oakwood. My brother Andre. Have Dr. Ashworth and Miss CRASC at Georgetown East. And all of them are so helpful with the work that we're doing. You know, because we need, when we come into a school, until I always say to my mentors, this program that we have is like Novocaine. Just give it a minute. It always works. All right. But until that minute happens, we need the people in the building to be advocates for us. You know, to impress upon the parents that their child needs to be here. We need the counselors and the teachers, when they have a so-called problem child, that's the ones we want. We don't want the good ones. We'll take them, right? Because they're examples for the so-called bad ones. But we want the ones that people are saying, oh, that's a bad child, you know, because they're not. You know, most of the time, the first crime was committed against the child, you know, so.
Well, yes. And I've got certificates here. I want to say also that I know at Annapolis Elementary, those children have had a lot to deal with, especially recently. And I want to make sure we thank you for everything that you've done there and so many other schools. It's Mr. Ashby Bay. Remind me, I'm gonna get my names mixed up here. Mr. Parker.
Thank you.
And Mr. Freeman. And you can keep this. Let's take a couple of pictures here. Here, I'll get them. Scoot over this way. Thank you.
Wow. Boy, 2.05, 2.06, and 2.07, they're going to be hard to follow. Absolutely want to thank everyone, all of the folks that we've honored, but everyone that showed up. The mentor piece. Dr. Bedell, I know I needed a mentor. I think you needed a mentor. And there are no bad kids. There are absolutely no bad kids. And I thank each and every one of you. Thank you for being mentors. And we'd like to have some more mentors. Our kids deserve that. So we're going to take a few minutes for some photos, I believe. All right, we'll be back. Thank you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. If we move on to our public comments on agenda items, we do not have any comments from anyone this evening, and so we'll move on to item 4.01, our CRASC report.
Good afternoon, President Silkworth, Vice President Dent, members of the board, and Dr. Goodell. My name is Jason Semenoff Jr. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a proud freshman at Chesapeake High School. I am honored to serve as the CRASC Secretary of Education. On April 8th, members of CRASC had the incredible opportunity to attend Governor Moore's bill signing for SB 307 and HB 402. We are thrilled to celebrate the passage of this landmark legislation, which reinforces the principle of equal work for equal pay for the student member of the board in AACPS and provides a $15,000 scholarship. We are especially grateful to have collaborated with Senator Simon Eyre and Delegate Peruski and to have witnessed the legislative process in action. Elections for the 2025-2026 CRASC officer team will be held on May 28th at Crofton High School. Students interested in running for one of the 7 elected positions must submit their nomination form by 8 p.m. on May 12th. The nomination form and a schedule of candidate events are available on the CRASC website and in Brightspace. Not planning to run for office? See your SGA advisor to get a permission slip and attend as a voting delegate. On the May episode of Teen Talk, guest host Will Andrioni spotlights 2 student bands featured on School Sounds, a traveling music showcase celebrating the talent of AACPS students through live performances. The new episode premieres tonight at 9 o'clock. Tune in on the AACPS YouTube channel or AACPS TV to check it out. Don't forget to follow at AACPS Teen Talk on Instagram for updates and behind-the-scenes content. A huge congratulations to Braden Morgan, who will serve as the 52nd AACPS student member of the board, and the 51st with full voting rights. CRASC is excited to work alongside Braden, and we look forward to building a strong, collaborative partnership in the year ahead. On this slide, you'll find a list of all of the upcoming CRASC events as we dive into CRASC officer election season. Good luck to students as you complete your MCAT, AP, or IB testing. That's all for me. See you next month.
Okay, we'll move on to item 4.02, our policy committee report. Ms. Shahar.
Yes, so the policy committee was supposed to meet yesterday, but because we had a very exciting bill signing for HB 226, we rescheduled that policy committee meeting to next week. And so I will have a full report next board meeting. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And now we'll move on to item 4.03, President's Report. So I do have a few things. On April the 25th, some of my colleagues and I, along with Dr. Burdell and some staff members, had the opportunity to tour the Real-Time Information Center on Veterans Highway. The Anne Arundel County Police Department's Real-Time Information Center, which is known as the RTIC, is committed to harnessing technology and resources to optimize public safety response by empowering officers and first responders to react more effectively to incidents. The RTIC prioritizes community and first responder safety while upholding privacy and civil rights. That was a great visit. On April the 25th, we attended the 39th Annual Excellence in Education Gala at Maryland Live, where we honored so many of our wonderful educators, including our Principal of the Year, Amy Gorky from Ruth Eason, and our Teacher of the Year, Jacqueline Sanderson, an English language development teacher at Belgrove Elementary School, who is our 2025 Anne Arundel County Public Schools Teacher of the Year. Congratulations. It was a great event. We do thank the Education Foundation of AACPS and all of the sponsors for this great event. On Monday, April the 28th, I had the honor to attend the annual NBCT recognitions at Severn Run High School. We were honored to recognize our teachers and staff who have earned the NBCT or maintained their NBCT, and that includes our very own Monique Jackson, who went across the stage. Congratulations, Ms. Jackson. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to all of our teachers who have earned their NBCT. On the 29th, April 29th, the third redistricting community meeting was held at Annapolis Middle School, and the turnout was great. These community meetings have allowed us to hear from our communities about the Phase 2 redistricting, and we thank Dr. Bedell, Dr. Heiser, and staff for all of their efforts. The deadline for uploading information into the Great Web Portal is May 15th. On April the 30th, I attended the 41st Annual Scholarship for Scholars Award ceremony at St. John's College with Ms. Pullum. We were absolutely amazed at the level of achievement of our great students. I would like to thank Pam Van Diver, the Executive Director of the Scholarship for Scholars, and all of the members of the Board of Directors who volunteered their time to provide financial support to our students. On Friday, May the 2nd, I attended the Unified Physical Education and Dance Showcase at Severn Run High School. These are always marvelous events. This was a wonderful event for all of our students and staff. I look forward to the next event, which I believe will take place this Friday at Chesapeake High. On Monday the 5th, my colleagues and I, we were invited to a meeting sponsored by the NAACP at the American Legion Hall, and all of my colleagues and I attended along with Dr. Bedell and Mr. Dickerson to listen to some concerns and comments about redistricting. On Tuesday, May the 6th, my colleagues and I, along with Dr. Bedell, Grace Wilson, and Michael Dickerson, we attended the signing of this 180-day bill by Governor Moore. We thank all of our local and state officials for their hard work and support to make this happen. We now have the flexibility to deal appropriately and innovatively to find solutions for the half-day issues, and we look forward to doing that. This is a huge step forward for our school system. Absolute thanks to Dr. Bedell, Mr. Dickerson, for continuing to make sure that this remain in the forefront for all of our legislators. Just a few other things. I want to offer my congratulations and those of the board to Braden Morgan of Glen Burnie High School. As you can see, he will be our 52nd student member of the board starting July 1. We are very proud that our school system is the only local school system in the nation with a student member with full voting rights. After appointment by the governor, Braden will begin his term on July 1. Congratulations, Braden. And finally, congratulations go to Dr. Bedell, who has earned the Bob Grossman Leadership in School Communications Award from the National School Public Relations Association. This award is a testament to Dr. Bedell's commitment to transparency to all stakeholders in our district. Dr. Bedell, congratulations. So that does conclude the president's report. We'll be moving on to item 4.04, the superintendent's report. Dr. Bedell.
Okay. Yeah, you got me with this one, Bob. I'm realizing, looking at these pictures, I probably just need to flat out go bald. I'm sitting here still trying to save it, man, and I can't. All right. So thank you, Mr. President. I have a lot of good news to talk about today in my report. I want to start off with Dr. Krista Cope, who has been named the Maryland School Psychologist of the Year. Dr. Cope currently serves students at the Virtual Academy and has been working with students across our county for 20 years. She also has been deeply involved in a variety of mental wellness initiatives. Congratulations to Dr. Cope. Also, we want to congratulate everyone involved in our service learning program. Thanks to their efforts, we have been named a Gold Ribbon School District by Youth Service America. And here's the best part of all of this. We are just one of 6 districts across the United States to receive this award. So I want to that's huge. YSA said in its announcement that we were being honored for the ways in which we prepare students to make a real difference through hands-on learning. I do again want to congratulate everyone involved in these efforts. And for many of us in here who are parents of students who attend this district, it also requires a sacrifice on our part. There's a number of times I've had to go either take my daughter or pick her up from the food pantry and many of these other areas where she has to meet these service learning hour requirements. And again, doing our part to teach everybody how to be a value add to their respective communities. And more good news. I told you all there was a lot. Wall Chapel Elementary School has been named the Maryland Elementary Chapter of the Year by Best Buddies, an organization which helps people with intellectual and developmental disabilities form meaningful friendships with their peers, secure successful jobs, live independently, and develop self-advocacy and communication skills. Wall Chapel was highlighted for its work to spread messages of inclusivity beyond the school and into the community. Congratulations to all of the students, staff, and families who are involved in this work. In particular, special education teachers Molly Dyer, Keely Keys, and Morgan Johnson, who led the effort. All right, and then finally, here is our regular update on vacancies. As you all know, we're getting ready to hear a presentation from our Human Resources Department, which will shed more light on the work that we're doing to continuously address staffing vacancies, but also ensure that we are operating in the best to our ability to adhere to policies to make sure that we have a diverse workforce. And I think you all are in for a treat on that. What is not in here, and I just want to say this because it is important and will probably be the last time that I say this, on the heels of signing our bill yesterday, House Bill 226, Senate Bill 569. I do personally want to thank the work of Grace, the work of Proctor and Associates. They helped us to get into rooms that we couldn't get into this year. Michael Dickerson helping to lead this effort. This school board for really being open to making this an agenda item at the conclusion of our first year. I mean, we took this on right away as an agenda item shortly after I started here. And I could tell you there's a board member who said having this conversation several years ago, this would be an absolute non-starter. And here we are having it signed. To all of our union leaders for your support. And now that it's been signed, we do look forward to beginning to sit down and have these conversations around what this could look like. I also want to thank us, and I'm going to name these people because this was an effort by our delegation over a 3-year period. Delegate Dana Jones was one of the first people to take this on. Senator Shanika Henson, I think they both were people who carried it early on. Delegate Heather Bagnall came in and took the baton, and Senator Don Giles, after her first year of being elected, she took this on. And so all of these elected officials helped to contribute to this getting through, and all of our delegation that was in support of what we were trying to do. So I just want to make sure that I'm paying my respects and saying thank you to everybody that had something to do with this. Thank you all. Mr. President, that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. So we're now going to be moving on to item 5.01, our workforce diversity report.
Thank you. Our team is coming up, and this, as usual, I really do enjoy these presentations that we present to the board and the community to keep you all apprised of how we are progressing this school district, but also how we are doing our best, to the best of our ability, adhering to district policy, board policy, district administrative policy. And this is just another example of what you're going to see. A fantastic presentation this team has presented for you all in the community. I'll pass it over to our Chief Human Resource Officer, Jessica Cutches, who will then allow for everybody else to announce who they are.
Good afternoon, Mr. Silkworth, Dr. Bedell, members of the board. I am Jessica Cutches, Chief Human Resources Officer. I have the pleasure of presenting today with Mr. Scott McGuire, Director of Human Capital Management, and Ms. Shanika McKenzie, Senior Specialist, Workforce Diversity. We are excited to sit before you to share our annual Workforce Diversity presentation. As discussions surrounding DEI continue to change, we believe it is important to reiterate our commitment to a workforce that is both qualified and reflective of our student population. These two goals are not mutually exclusive. Talented educators can be found in every community, and our school system's goal is to encourage as many of these educators as possible to join our AACPS family. We are not attempting to meet quotas as required in affirmative action programs, but rather to ensure our school leaders have access to the broadest pool of qualified candidates in order to select the best educators for their school communities. Our ability to increase the diversity of our workforce is a byproduct of our deliberate outreach and consistent messaging that AACPS is a place where we desire all of our employees to belong, grow, and succeed. In case that was not clear enough, let me be explicit. We have and will continue to hire based on merit, consistent with board policy. Today's report is in alignment with our workforce diversity policy and regulation, which states that the Board of Education recognizes the educational benefit of a diverse workforce to enrich the educational experience of students. It aligns with the blueprint for Maryland's future and priority 3 of our AACPS strategic plan. AACPS is proud of the progress that we have made in developing a workforce that is reflective of our student body. 10 years ago, educators of color comprised 17% of newly hired teachers. This number has now increased to more than 30%. Additionally, the overall Unit 1 workforce has increased in diversity from 13% to nearly 20% over the same period. This increase is a testament to our inclusive approach to attracting talent from all backgrounds to join our school system. We've also seen a drastic reduction in vacancies from 175 at the close of the 22-23 hiring season down to 59 at the end of the 24-25 hiring season. As Anne Arundel County's demographics continue to change, we are looking at how we can expand our recruitment efforts. Over the past 10 years, our Hispanic Latino student population has nearly doubled from 12% to 22.3%. Currently, our Hispanic Latino teacher population is less than 5%. Data from the National Center for Educational Statistics tells us that colleges and universities with the largest populations of Hispanic Latino students majoring in education or similar fields are in the West, Southwest, and Southeast of the United States. Our additional efforts to reach these educators will be discussed shortly. I'm now going to turn it over to Ms. McKenzie to talk about some recruitment.
Good afternoon. AACPS attended 62 college and university events during the 2024-25 recruitment season. 24% were to historically Black colleges and universities, Hispanic serving institutions, and colleges and universities that serve a diverse population. A complete list of all recruitment trips has been included in the data packet and will be provided to you today. As previously mentioned, we are continuing our bilingual educator recruitment efforts. Last spring, during the 2024-25 recruitment season, AACPS added colleges in New Mexico and Texas to our recruitment efforts. Additional schools in Texas and Florida were added this spring. Since new recruitment partnerships can take time to establish, we will evaluate the success of these new locations over the next 2 years. We are continuing to host virtual recruitment events in Puerto Rico to target educators interested in relocating, while allowing AACPS to utilize our recruitment funding to explore new markets. Our annual job fair was moved to late March to better coincide with when principals have more accurate vacancy information to help with early hiring. AACPS recruiters have been assigned to networks to better support and identify candidates that will best fit various school communities. Open contracts, also known as early offers of employment, remain a tool used to lock in strong candidates earlier in the hiring season. And we continue to actively recruit our student interns through on-site visits and hosting special intern events to encourage them to choose AACPS. Finally, in addition to our current salary scale, AACPS has created a new career ladder that incentivizes educators to consider pursuing national board certification and allows conditionally certified educators with prior education experience to obtain more experience credit and earn a higher starting salary. I will now turn it over to Mr. McGuire to discuss retention strategies.
Our newly developed AACPS scorecard shows that in 2024, AACPS retained 94% of instructional staff, with retention being over 90% for all demographic groups. This data will serve as a baseline moving forward, and it should be noted that this is already an outstanding data point. We are continuing to work to improve our new hire retention, which was 84% in 2024. The top 3 reasons for separation from our exit survey for Unit 1 employees with less than 1 year of experience were personal reasons, principal or supervisor, work hours, demands, and expectations. This year, our workforce monitoring team has developed subcommittees tasked with focusing on challenges that may hinder teacher retention. Our retention subcommittees are dedicated to supporting conditional teachers on their path to professional licensure and to providing enhanced support for educators working in schools that require additional assistance. The AACPS Workforce Monitoring Team will bring their final recommendations to the Superintendent's Cabinet later this year. During Hispanic Heritage Month, AACPS hosted our first event for Hispanic Latino educators entitled Conexiones, where teachers networked and brainstormed ways they can help support AACPS recruitment and retention efforts. Several of these educators are working with human resources to develop additional supports for our bilingual staff. We are also continuing to partner with the Anne Arundel Alliance of Black School Educators, better known as ABSE, to host leadership workshops for teachers seeking to advance in their careers. These events are open to all AACPS educators. We responded to our new hire retention data by partnering with the Division of Instruction and School Performance to provide targeted professional learning to our school leaders around retention strategies. We believe it is imperative to train our new principals to become confident and successful hiring managers, and we provide sessions during first and second year principal meetings. We also provide follow-up training for all principals on important topics such as annual guidance on hiring practices, strategies to mitigate bias during interviews, and attracting a diverse workforce. A few examples of AACPS schools that benefit from their continued partnership with human resources are North County High School, who has created recruitment materials that highlight the school demographics, academic achievements, and success stories to attract the best teachers for their school community. MacArthur Middle School had 26 classroom vacancies out of a staff of 124 employees in July, and to date is fully staffed. Frank Hebron Harmon Elementary School was fully staffed for the first time in 3 years due to the dedication of the administration and attendance at every hiring event. Being fully staffed significantly improves teacher retention by reducing the burden on existing staff for coverage or substitute needs, ensuring that every child has a licensed teacher. And finally, our Leads Workshop provides additional support to non-tenured educators with 161 attendees at our 4 quarterly workshops during the 23-24 school year. I'll turn it back to Ms. McKenzie to highlight our recruitment successes.
AACPS hired 107 teachers from our 2024 teacher recruitment job fair, which was nearly 60% of attendees. Our 2025 job fair was the largest in recent years with over 250 attendees and over 800 screening interviews completed. Over 40 attendees have already accepted positions with AACPS for the 25-26 school year. During our 2024 summer job fairs, 22 educators were hired into teaching positions. These smaller job fairs prioritize schools with a higher number of vacancies. 136 open contracts were extended for the 24-25 school year, with 94 accepting, an acceptance rate of 69%. And finally, 125 Anne Arundel County Public School educators achieved prestigious National Board certification for the first time, and 41 others maintained their certification, making AACPS's 2024-25 class of MBCT educators one of the school system's largest ever and nearly 8% larger than the 2023-24 class. AACPS now boasts a total of 548 educators who have earned National Board Certification status, making AACPS one of the top 3 counties for MBCTs in the state of Maryland. And we are thrilled to report that for a 3rd year in a row, new hire teacher diversity has been over 30%, ending the 2024-25 hiring season at 33%. Thank you, and we are happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Thank you. Dr. Tobin.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that excellent presentation. It's great to see a lot of what's happening, and the trajectory looks very good. I had one question, and I have no doubt you're addressing this, but it's something that comes to my mind, and I think in the current environment, for example, when there are a lot of federal workers seeking employment, it may be even more at issue, which is what sort of support, or is there a particular support for principals supervising career changers? And I say this because when you have people who come out of, in some cases, longstanding experience in other sectors, the way, even though, there's always briefings on how we do things, the way support is offered, the way coaching is done, the way, observations are done, may land a little differently, or may just be somewhat foreign to folks who come out of other sectors. So I'm just curious if that's sort of a question that comes up, and if there are any thoughts you would like to offer on that.
Sure, I can start, and then I'm going to hand it over to Scott or Mr. McGuire. So his team has proactively worked with the department or division of instruction, DISP. I'm going to mess it up, so I'm just going to say DISP, to make sure that principals are getting all the retention strategies they need, and that includes tailoring it to career changers. We definitely recognize, and we've had a lot of experience with career changers over the last several years, as you know. So we have picked up on, yes, they have definite different needs, and so there is professional development offered to principals through the HR team. Did you want to add anything?
No, and I think it's also important to note that our partnership with academics includes the work with our Right Start program, which also has a conditional teacher support specialist that kind of really just focus on that batch of folks, right? Those career changers who are coming to us conditionally certified or licensed, really getting those quick boot camps in the summer. And so principals working directly with their Right Start advisors around that information is helpful for them in those evaluations as well.
Well, as I said, I knew you were probably on top of it, but it's one of those things I think that bears, explicit discussion. And I just want to congratulate you again. And you reiterated this, Ms. Cutches. I will reiterate this again. This is clearly hiring on merit, with the notion that merit involves ensuring that we reach into every community and find those people who are going to be great assets to our system. And I really appreciate all of you doing that work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tobin. So I'm seeing no more lights. I want to thank you all for such a great report, for great work. We're in good hands. We appreciate everything that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me see, Ms. Pullum?
Sorry, this is a little late. I just want to congratulate you
I
guys.
think you can catch them before they walk out.
Yeah, no, I don't think that just for our community, reaching out and expanding our borders across the nation, that's big. And industry and government do it all the time. So for us to really go out there and, just push the needle and expand the net, I mean, Texas, New Mexico, that's huge. And also with the universities, all of that's great strides. Thank you so very much. That's awesome.
Dr. Bedell?
All right, thank you. So excellent presentation, and I want to thank you all, and we're going to move on to the next agenda.
Yeah, we're moving on to item 5.02,
Okay.
County Executive recommended fiscal year 2026 operating and capital budgets.
All right, Mr. President, this I hope will be a very positive meeting. Matt Stansky generally, is to follow some tough acts, and that was a tough act to follow, but I think we're in for another positive presentation here. So I want to pass it over to Matt Stansky and the team.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Dr. Bedell. For the record, Matt Stansky, Chief Financial Officer. I'm joined by Melissa Camilla, Budget Director, and Dr. Heiser and Mr. Roof. And so what we'll do is we'll walk through the operating budget proposal that was released on Thursday. We'll pause for questions, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Heiser and Mr. Roof to walk through the capital budget if that works for the board. All right. So as Dr. Bedell alluded to, I think really overall a very positive budget release last week, especially I would say given where we were in the winter with the release of the governor's budget, Mr. Trumbauer's sort of outlook of the county finances as he presented to where we are now. So I will walk through the changes that are proposed in the sheet. The yellow highlights mean something has changed. The white, if there's no highlight, that means the items were fully funded. So we'll walk you through. So first bit of good news is when the board adopted the budget back in February, we were still looking at the governor's proposed budget. And so we are looking at a reduction in our foundation funding. And so we're looking all in at $37.3 million. Obviously, with the passage of the state budget, full funding was restored for fiscal 26. And so we are now looking at a state aid increase of $45.5 million, total of just shy of $594 million. Next change is based on the board's requested budget. We did ask the county government for $105.8 million. And the county executive came in with about roughly half of that, which $52 million, which as he alluded to is a record increase for us. It is about 5.6% over last year's total. So that is a good solid increase there. No changes to local or fund balance. So all in on the general fund, 1.614 billion and $99.8 million increase over last year, which is 6.6% on the general fund. On the restricted side, no changes. We're still seeing the lag or the final reduction from our COVID grants. And so all in here, 92.9 million. So $1.7 billion. And so 5.5% revenue growth, which is really, really good. And so with that, we'll kind of walk through what that money's being proposed to pay for. So first change is the board adopted a 3% COLA for all employees plus a 1% mid-year COLA for all bargaining units. The county executive fully funded the 3% COLA. He did not choose to fund at this time the 1% mid-year. He fully funded the step increase and the mandated national board certification salary increases. He did not fund the national board certified school counselors. As you know, state law prohibits us from getting revenue for school counselors, and so we'll continue to work with our partners in the General Assembly to see if we can't get that changed. We did get full funding for our career ladder transition, as well as our teaching assistant for pre-K upgrades, our Unit 2 salary enhancements, our restructuring for Unit 3 to start the minimum salary at $18 an hour pending negotiations, as well as our implementation of the compensation study for Units 5 and 6. We're all fully funded. The last three items, the increase in pay for substitute teachers, the $1,000 retention incentive, as well as the compensation for overnight field trips, were not funded in this proposed budget. Moving to the employee benefit side, full funding for our healthcare request, as well as our increase in insurance. The pension shift, I will mention here, it is highlighted, but Per the final passage of the budget, the pension board is sending that bill directly to county government. So the county government is on the hook for $9.1 million of that teacher pension shift, but that bill is not coming to us. It comes directly to county government. So county government is also fully funding that as well, which is good news. Moving to the next on the commitment side, we full funding for our conversion of Carver to an early childhood center. On the next two lines, you actually see an increase, and this is because we saw increase in state aid and our increase in county aid. So our existing charter schools will get a proportionate increase because of that. So those numbers actually increased. And then obviously with the announcement of New Village Academy not opening for next school year, that funding request was not granted. Blueprint mandates were all fully funded, so those will continue on as the board requested back in February. On the program increase side, all of those items were fully funded with the exception of the operations and maintenance piece. So the utility portion of that, $2.9 million, was funded, but the $1 million increase for service contracts was not funded. Moving down to our ESSER funding cliff items, Grow Your Own was cut in this proposal. However, the state budget has funded new grants for Grow Your Own initiatives, and so AACPS will obviously look to pursue those grants, given that this funding was cut. We did get full funding for our iReady software, as well as our learning management system, which were both funded using COVID dollars for the last 4 years. Moving on to program enhancements, the constituent service liaisons for the board were not funded. On the early childhood front, we did get teachers and TAs and cultural arts teachers to support the expansion of those 4 classrooms. We did not receive the multilingual learner or special education position component for those classrooms. Moving down to English language development, we did ask for a total of 22 positions in this area. We were awarded 12 positions, 10 English language development teachers and 2 12-month bilingual facilitators. And we did get full funding of our request to move some of our bilingual facilitators from 10-month to 12-month. We did not get funding for the 2 PPW bilingual positions that were requested in the budget. Moving down, this is where we're starting to see, unfortunately, a little more yellow and cuts, but that is, we had to remove $50 million from the budget. First is our early intervention teachers. We requested 18. We did not get any. This was actually to replace the state mandated cut to the transitional supplemental instruction program in the blueprint. We find that program is working really well. We wanted to continue it. The state obviously is reducing their support. We did not get the support in this budget. Our co-curricular expansion request was cut as well. High school laptops, we did not get full funding for it, but we did get enough funding to start with 2 grade levels at high school to convert those devices from Chromebooks to laptops. We did receive full funding for year 2 of middle school athletics. The county executive did put forth $333,000 for a pilot for weapons detection. So that'll be for 2 schools, 2 secondary schools. The requests for school counselors for upgrades to our security cameras, our student apprenticeship program, telehealth devices, universal behavioral screener, and musical instrument repair and replacement all were not funded. But the last is on the agricultural science program enhancement that $70,000 was funded. The request for a total of 5 social emotional positions, social workers, psychologists, and PPWs, those were not funded. Reminders to the board, we are seeing significant growth in our community school funds, which are funding a fair amount of social emotional positions. We did get full funding for the new teacher orientation. This will be to expand the number of days for new teachers to come in, and so to provide compensation for those teachers to onboard them, get them ready for the first day of school. And then for special education services, all in, the board asked for 155 positions. in roughly $14 million. We were awarded 28 positions in this budget at a total of $2.6 million. And then finally, in the transportation front, both of those initiatives, the alternative vehicle drivers and aides, as well as the support for the teen parenting program for transportation, were fully funded. So again, all in, Mr. President, 5.51%, total of 63 positions were funded out of our 239 requested. But I think considering the environment we're in, I would say overall a positive budget. So with that, I will turn it back over to you and the board, and happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay, I'm looking for lights. Ms. Schellheim.
Yeah, thank you as always for a good presentation. This is really fabulous overall, to your point. I think there were moments in time over the last several months that we weren't sure how this was going to go, and there could have been a lot more yellow on it. But I just want to make a point here. Even though this county administration has done such a fabulous job every year, I think, giving us, granting our funding requests to the highest level, I think he's set records, and then he's broken those previous records, and he's set new ones, which is all great. However, we still have a lot of needs, obviously, because we wouldn't have asked for all this stuff if we didn't need it. And so I'm just trying to paint, make sure we're not getting stuck in the fact that this is good, because it is. And thank you, County Executive. But our needs are so great because before these last 6 years, we were underfunded for decades, and we're still trying to get ourselves out of that hole. So I do applaud our county government, county council. I'll be looking to you. I've called a few of you already, and trust me, I will be lobbying fiercely to, as chairwoman of the county council put it last week, perfect this budget even more. I'm going to take her literally on that and give her some ideas on that. Looking at the yellow, lots of yellow. But I think we just need to be clear-eyed about the needs to, when we say fully fund public education, it can't just be in the last 6 years. It has to be like a societal shift in how we think about public education, and fund it forever, and not just really well for the last 6 years. I'll get off my soapbox now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schellheim. Ms. Pullum.
Thank you so much for the overview. It's awesome, and it's great to see some of these additions that were approved. And I know not to get too excited now. We have to wait for the county council. I just want to make a plea to the community. With this budget here, a lot of the things that we do to meet the mission and be successful really comes from the community, the wraparound services that they provide that we don't have and we don't identify here. I would say as we move forward every year, those relationships matter more and more, and we need to strengthen them, because as you see, you guys are really putting a lot to that, and we appreciate it, but just know we're hoping to strengthen some of those relationships so we can meet our goals. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, I'm seeing no more lights, so I completely agree with Ms. Schellheim when she talks about our advocating for the needs. That's our responsibility, and I will tell you that in meetings that we've had with the county executive, that's one thing that I've said, is that our role as a board is to advocate for the needs of the great kids and staff that we have. I think we've done that. And there's more work to be done. This process goes on. This is going to the county council, and so we have more work to do, and we'll do that. I just want to mention that one of our friends, Mr. Trumbauer, said to me on the way out of the Arundel Center the other day after we heard from Mr. Pittman, he said, enjoy the record budget. And it is a record budget, and I am enjoying it. And I think there's some LEAs across the county that are really looking to Anne Arundel County and saying, whoa, those folks have it pretty good there. And we do, but we do because of the relationship pieces that continue to grow. Mr. Stansky, your staff, Dr. Bedell, how he works with not just Stuart Pittman, but all of the stakeholders.
We sit here in a very good position as it relates to this capital budget. There are, as we go through this sheet, you will see that what was requested. In blue indicates that there was a modification, and in red indicates that the item was not funded. And so there are 6 items in blue that I'll review very quickly and 1 item in red. Getting started, number 6, priority relocatable class, a reduction to $400,000, which with redistricting, we have not seen as high of a need for relocatable. And so we're very comfortable with the change. Next is school-based replacement, again, a reduction to $2.1 million. This still allows funding for electric infrastructure to out Cat South bus lot, which we're moving forward with. And it also provides $1.1 million for bus and van replacements. And so once again, we're in a very, still with that modest change, we're still in a very good situation. The school bus facility lot, we still continue to look for property. We get closer and closer, but we're still not there yet. And as a result, it does make sense to reduce the funding there to $4.6 million while we await for that property and work hand in glove with the county on that piece. The Board of Education program planning, this was an increased funding to $550,000. And so that's an addition of $250,000 for a feasibility study to take a look at replacing Glen Burnie High School. And so I wanted to mention that piece. 1 item was not funded that you see there in red, which is additions. And once again, we're very comfortable with this reduction. Again, redistricting. We have not seen as high a need for additions as we go forward in this upcoming year. So it makes sense that that is reduced as we go forward with redistricting. Next item in blue, number 20, is upgrade various schools. And again, this is an extra $29,500, and that's for an electric sign for Arundel High School and Arundel Middle School, which is much needed. So that increase also makes sense in that area. And athletic facility improvements was another change, which is the last item I'll speak to, and that's $100,000 increase for Chesapeake High School's field house to support that piece. In terms of the Old Mill Master Plan, you'll see in this budget that, again, fully funded to help finish that program out and finish out our master plan, which we're really excited about. And again, very pleased with the situation that we're in at the moment. And so with that, that's the update. Again, Mr. Roof and I are here to answer any questions that you may have for the capital budget.
Dr. Tobin.
Thank you. Thank you for walking us through that. You answered all my questions, Dr. Heiser. I appreciate it. I just wanted to add another comment, really for the public that's listening out there. I get questions all the time about why are we really doing this redistricting? And I would urge folks who follow such matters to actually take a look at this budget and see that we are opening up some space where we aren't having to worry as much about some of these reductions in a tougher time, because we're not facing the kind of space issues that we would be facing if we weren't in the process of redistricting. So thank you to you and your staff. Thank you, Mr. Stansky and Ms. Camello, all of the staff for this incredible work. And I think, Dr. Bedell, it's a testament to the work you've done in your time here and your staff, the trust that the county executive and I hope the county council will place in us. When funders decide to give you money, they really want to know that it will produce good results that they can demonstrate to their constituents. And I think we continue to do that with your leadership, Dr. Bedell, and the support of this board. And so thank you, everyone.
Ms. Schellheim.
Yes, thank you for walking us through that. I don't know if you're also going to walk through the 6-year plan. I have some questions about that piece, like the zeroed out lines. Do any of, my question's really general. Do any of those ones that are zeroed out, it looks like not for FY26 for any of them beyond what you've already gone through, but are you worried at all about the zeroing out of some of the other stuff, like the Ruth Parker Eason feasibility design, strategic facility study? There's one or two others, playgrounds, those sorts of things. Is any of that worrying to you?
I think on a general basis, the 6-year plan provides us a baseline to work off of to start for next year's process. As with every fiscal year, we go back and reset the deck. And you're likely to find that those projects that were zeroed out will get moved back up in our request for next year because we deem those important and essential to move forward. So it gives us a baseline. It's a 6-year plan. Every year we look at it.
Okay, it's been a year, so, I don't really remember as much red in previous years as I do, as I see before me now. The only other thing that I'll mention is obviously the sustainability stuff, which we know if we do more sustainability, I don't have to explain this to you, more sustainability features lowers our costs, not raises them. So I'm hoping just, for the general public and for all of us here that we continue to pursue these sorts of things. Thank you.
Okay, I'm seeing no more lights. Thank you all so
All right,
much.
great job,
Dr. Bedell.
everybody. Thank you,
Hey,
budget
absolutely.
folks.
Okay, we're going to be moving on to some of our consent items, award of contracts. Do I hear a motion to bundle?
Motion to amend the contract of awards, award of contracts.
Second.
Consensus? Okay, we have consensus then. Dr. Bedell.
Thank you, Mr. President. The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education authorize the award of contracts under the consent items numbered 6.01 through 6.04.
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Ms. Howe?
Ms. Dent?
Aye.
Dr. Tobin?
Aye.
Ms. McDermott?
Aye.
Ms. Pulliam?
Aye.
Ms. Schallheim?
Aye.
Ms. McFarland? Aye. Mr. Silkworth?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, now we're going to move on to some action items. 7.01, administrative personnel appointments. Dr. Bedell.
Mr. President, the superintendent recommends that the personnel listed on the attached sheet be promoted and or appointed as discussed in executive close.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? And seeing no lights, Ms. Howe.
Ms. Dent?
Aye.
Dr. Tobin?
Aye.
Ms. McDermott?
Aye.
Ms. Pulliam?
Aye.
Ms. Schallheim?
Aye.
Ms. McFarland?
Aye.
And Mr. Silkworth?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, item 7.02, personnel. Dr. Bedell.
Mr. President, the superintendent recommends that the board approve the actions as stipulated on the attached sheets.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing no lights, Ms. Howe.
Ms. Dent?
Aye.
Dr. Tobin?
Aye.
Ms. McDermott?
Aye.
Ms. Pulliam?
Aye.
Ms. Schallheim?
Aye.
Ms. McFarland?
Aye.
Mr. Silkworth?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
All right, we're going to move on to item 7.03 on third reading of Student Conduct Code JCC.
All right, with Grace Wilson coming up, before we get to this item, I do want to make a public correction on an omission. I forgot to mention that Senator Pam Beidel was one of the original sponsors of this bill, and I wrote her name down and then just skipped over it. So for the record, Wanted to make sure that I also acknowledged her as one of the people that helped to get that legislation that just recently was signed moving. And now we will have Grace to come up. We are at this point recommending approval of policy JCC, subject to correction for style and format.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. Good afternoon, President Silkworth, Vice President Dent, and members of the board. For the record, I'm Grace Wilson, Senior Specialist for Legislation and Policy for the district. As Dr. Bedell said, policy JCC, student conduct, is before you this afternoon on third reading for final adoption. As a friendly reminder, this policy is being updated at the request of staff to reference restorative practices and as well as student conduct and discipline. And with that, I'd be happy to take any questions you have on this policy.
Michelle Hunt.
At the appropriate time, I have a motion. Is it appropriate? Great. Move to adopt this policy. Thank you.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any discussion? Ms. Pullum?
I just want to thank the CAC. I was thankful enough to be a part of the meeting when they had the discussions, and going into the rooms and having folks from all different parts of our community. They're so thoughtful and really took the time to go through this. And I learned a lot from them during that discussion. So just thank you for all you do. It really does make a difference to have the community be a part of our process.
Thank you. So seeing no more lights, I think, Ms. Howe.
Ms. Dent?
Aye.
Dr. Tobin?
Aye.
Ms. McDermott?
Aye.
Ms. Pulliam?
Aye.
Ms. Schallheim?
Aye.
Ms. McFarland?
Aye.
Mr. Silkworth?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Other action item 7.04 Goshen Farms, Maryland Historic Trust Easement Commitment Letter. Dr. Bedell.
Thank you, Mr. President. The superintendent recommends approval of the Goshen Farms, Maryland Historic Trust Easement Commitment Letter.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no lights, Ms. Howe.
Ms. Dent?
Aye.
Dr. Tobin?
Aye.
Ms. McDermott?
Aye.
Ms. Pulliam?
Aye.
Ms. Schallheim?
Aye.
Ms. McFarland?
Aye.
And Mr. Silkworth?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
We're now up to item 7.05, our fourth quarter operating budget supplemental and fund transfer for fiscal year 2025. And welcome back, Mr. Stansky.
All right, so as he's sitting, Mr. Stansky will present the fourth quarter operating budget fund transfer for FY 2024 to be submitted to the county council, and the superintendent recommends approval of this request. I'll pass it over to Matt Stansky now.
Thank you, Dr. Bedell. For the record, Matt Stansky, Chief Financial Officer, again joined by Melissa Camilla, Director of Budget. Before you is our annual fourth quarter transfer and supplemental with board approval today. This will go over to the county executive and county council to be included in their fourth quarter transfer bill as well for approval. We have a total of additional $18.6 million in new revenue. Federal government, we're looking at $3.3 million over what we have budgeted. Again, this is just a reconciliation of the variety of grants that we received throughout the year. $1.8 million increase in state aid, mostly with our increases in non-public placements, that revenue going up as well. $5.2 million in local revenue, again, still with an elevated interest rate environment. So we've been budgeting conservatively on our interest rates, thinking at some point interest rates will start to go down. They are not yet. But so one of the benefits of that is getting higher returns on our money. So $5.2 million in additional revenue there. And then restricted revenue, $8.2 million. This is our healthcare fund. So we are seeing elevated claims, especially since January. So we're dipping into the reserves a little bit on the healthcare fund to shore that up. We do have 3 more invoices to go. Hopefully we'll see those lower a little bit and won't have to use all this money. But at the moment, we're seeing about a little over 8% increase in claims year over year. So the inflationary factors, we'll see. Obviously, tariffs may also have an impact on the fund as well, with the cost of prescriptions continuing to go up. So we will continue to monitor and keep you posted. But all in, $18.6 million. The exhibit has by state category where the funding will go. And with that, Mr. President, I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Okay, I'm seeing no lights. So we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got a vote? We need
Yeah, we do need a motion.
Yeah.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we now have a motion and a second. And do we have any discussion? I'm seeing no lights again. Okay, Ms. Howe.
Ms. Dent?
Aye.
Dr. Tobin?
Aye.
Ms. McDermott?
Aye.
Ms. Pulliam?
Aye.
Ms. Shawheim? Ms. McFarland?
Aye.
Mr. Silkworth?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, so item 8.01, it's a review item, award of contracts. Are there any concerns? Seeing none, we're going to be moving on to our public comments on non-agenda items. Oh, okay, we're not going to be moving on to public comments. We had one, we now have none. So, having said that, the next meeting of this board will be on Wednesday, May 21st, 6:30 p.m. meeting here in the boardroom. Policy Committee will be meeting, it's at May 13th. May 13th, it's a 3 p.m. virtual meeting. And so do I hear a motion to
Motion
adjourn?
to adjourn.
Second?
Second. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.